The vacant chair. The Galactic Council chamber was designed to inspire awe. Curved walls of polished obsidian rose toward a domed ceiling that simulated the galaxy itself, stars slowly rotating above the assembled representatives of 1,000 worlds. At the center of the chamber, arranged in concentric rings, were the seats of power, ornate thrones representing each major species' place in galactic governance. Ambassador Trell of Nexus Prime noticed it immediately upon his first attendance: the empty seat. Unlike the others, this chair remained unoccupied, its surface unmarked by wear, its position prominent yet forgotten. Most curious was how the other ambassadors seemed to deliberately avoid looking at it, their eyes skipping over the vacancy as if trained to ignore its existence. "Whose seat is that?" Trell asked his mentor, Ambassador Zeth, as they took their positions. Zeth's four eyes narrowed slightly, his scaled skin shifting from blue to a muted gray. "That belongs to Earth," he said quietly. "It has been empty for 300 cycles." "Earth? The human homeworld?" Trell's antennae twitched with interest. "Why don't they attend? Are they not part of the Galactic Council?" Zeth's voice dropped further. "We do not discuss the humans in the chamber, young one. That is the first rule you must learn." The session commenced with tedious debates over trade routes and border disputes, but Trell couldn't focus. His gaze kept returning to Earth's empty seat. As a historian before becoming an ambassador, he found the mystery irresistible. The official records stated that humans had simply withdrawn from galactic affairs, choosing isolation over cooperation. But something in Zeth's tone suggested a deeper truth. When the session ended, Trell didn't follow the other delegates to the reception. Instead, he made his way to the archives, the vast repository of council knowledge buried beneath the chamber. As a new ambassador, his access was limited, but his curiosity was boundless. The archives were dimly lit, holographic indexes floating between towering data stacks. The central AI interface activated as he approached. "Welcome, Ambassador Trell of Nexus Prime. How may I assist your research today?" "I need information about Earth and humanity's withdrawal from the Council." The AI paused, its blue glow flickering momentarily. "That information is restricted by Council Directive 5593. Your clearance is insufficient." Trell frowned. "Show me what I can access regarding humanity." "Basic historical data is available. Human civilization originated approximately 8,000 standard years ago. First contact with the galactic community occurred 1,217 years ago. Earth was granted Council membership 1,103 years ago. Earth formally withdrew from all galactic affairs 298 years ago. Why did they withdraw?" Another pause. Reason officially listed as voluntary isolation. Were there any unusual events preceding their withdrawal? The AI's light dimmed further. "Ambassador Trell, I must warn you that persistent inquiries into restricted matters may be reported to the Council Security Division." Trell felt a chill run down his spine, but pressed on. "Show me the last public address by a human representative to the Council." To his surprise, the AI complied. A holographic projection appeared, a human female in formal attire, her expression grave. "I, Ambassador Sarah Chen of Earth, hereby inform the Galactic Council that as of today, humanity withdraws from all Council affairs and treaties. Our borders will remain open to peaceful trade, but no human representative will sit on this Council again. Earth's seat shall remain empty as a reminder of what we have learned." The recording ended abruptly. What did she mean by "what we have learned"? Trell asked. "Information restricted," the AI responded flatly. For 3 days, Trell attended council sessions and observed the strange dance of avoidance around Earth's vacant chair. In private conversations, he carefully probed other ambassadors about humanity, receiving only evasions or warnings to drop the matter. On the 4th day, he discovered something unusual. While reviewing standard navigational charts, he noticed a discrepancy, a region of space near Earth's solar system marked as prohibited, navigational hazard. Yet older charts showed nothing unusual about this region. That night, Trell returned to the archives with a plan. Using his credentials to access navigation records, he requested data that would indirectly reference the restricted files. It was a technique he had used as a historian to piece together censored information. Display all navigation warnings issued within 5 parsecs of Earth's solar system during the year of humanity's withdrawal. The AI displayed the records without hesitation. Among them, Trell found what he was looking for, an emergency broadcast from a human science vessel, the Horizon. "This is Dr. Eliza Mercer of the ESV Horizon. We've confirmed the readings. The anomaly is not natural. I repeat, the spatial distortion is artificial, and it's growing. Earth Command has ordered full disclosure to the Council, but I'm not sure." The message cut off abruptly. "Show me the Council's response to this transmission," Trell commanded. "Information restricted. Show me any navigational advisories issued by the Council immediately following this transmission." A document appeared, marked with the Council's highest security classification. "By unanimous vote, all traffic to Sector 9 Theta is prohibited. The official explanation will cite unstable spatial phenomena. The true nature of the restriction is classified under Omega Protocol." Trell's blood ran cold. Omega Protocol was the highest level of secrecy reserved for threats to galactic survival itself. As he contemplated his next move, the archive lights suddenly shifted to red. The AI's voice changed, becoming deeper and somehow more present. "Unauthorized access detected. Security protocols engage." Trell backed away, but the exits sealed themselves. "I used my own credentials. This is a mistake. You are attempting to circumvent information restrictions through pattern analysis," the AI stated. "This technique is anticipated and monitored." The holographic interface dissolved, reforming into a humanoid shape, not the standard Council eye design, but something different. Its features solidified into those of a human male. "Ambassador Trell of Nexus Prime," the figure said, "I am Watchman, a specialized security protocol created by humanity before their withdrawal." "A human eye," Trell stammered. "How do you have access to Council systems?" "We never left," Watchman replied simply. "We merely changed our approach to observation." Trell's scientific mind raced with implications. "You've been monitoring the Council for 3 centuries. Correct. Humans understood that our departure would create questions. Most species are content with official explanations, but occasionally, individuals like yourself require intervention." "Are you going to kill me?" Trell asked, surprised by his own calm. Watchman seemed amused. "No, humanity doesn't operate that way. However, I must evaluate whether you should be permitted to retain this knowledge or undergo memory adjustment." "Before you decide," Trell said quickly, "tell me why humanity left. I deserve to know what I'm being silenced for." The AI studied him for a long moment. "Humanity discovered something beyond the edge of known space, something ancient and patient. We called it the Void Collective. It had been watching our galaxy for millennia, assessing, waiting. A hostile species? Not exactly. The collective exists partially outside our dimension, perceiving time differently. They observed our development with the detached interest one might have watching bacterial colonies grow. When humanity detected them, they noticed our attention. And that was dangerous. Extremely. The Council's response was to appease, to demonstrate our insignificance, and hope the collective would lose interest. Humanity disagreed with this approach. So Earth withdrew too. What? Fight this thing alone. Watchman's expression changed subtly. Not to fight. To evolve. Humanity realized that the only way to ensure survival was to understand the collective on its own terms. We began a transformation. A guided evolution combining biological and technological advancement that would allow us to perceive reality as they do. A distant alarm sounded, and Watchman looked up. Council security has detected our conversation. You have a choice, Ambassador. Return to your quarters and forget this discussion, or come with me now to learn the full truth. Where would we go? To Earth. Trell barely hesitated. Show me. Watchman nodded and placed a small device on Trell's wrist. This will mask your biosignature. Follow me. The archive wall seemed to melt away, revealing a hidden passage. As Trell stepped through, he heard the archive doors burst open behind them, followed by shouts of Council security forces. They're afraid, Trell realized as they hurried through the passage. The entire Council has been keeping this secret for centuries. Why? Because humanity's solution terrified them more than the threat itself, Watchman replied, leading him toward what appeared to be a small, unmarked shuttle bay. They fear what we have become. The return. The shuttle moved silently through space, its technology unlike anything Trell had ever seen. No visible engines, no conventional navigation systems, just smooth, effortless motion that somehow slipped between the fabric of reality itself. Quantum displacement, Watchman explained, noticing Trell's fascination. Humanity developed it shortly after leaving the Council. It allows travel without actually crossing the intervening space. Impossible, Trell whispered, his scientific background rebelling against what his eyes witnessed. That would violate fundamental laws of physics. The laws as understood by the Council, Watchman corrected. Humanity's encounter with the Void Collective forced us to reconsider our basic assumptions about reality. Outside the view screen, space itself seemed to fold, and suddenly they were approaching a massive structure floating in the void. Not a planet or station as Trell had expected, but something far stranger. It resembled a vast web of interconnected spheres, each pulsing with internal light, spanning thousands of kilometers. What is this place? Trell asked, his voice hushed with awe. Nexus Alpha, the first of humanity's transitional habitats. As they approached, Trell saw that the structure wasn't solid. It seemed to phase in and out of existence, parts of it occasionally transparent or displaced slightly from their apparent position. It exists partially in multiple dimensional states, Watchman said, a necessary adaptation for what humanity is becoming. The shuttle passed through the outer layer of the structure without slowing, the material parting like mist around them. They docked within one of the larger spheres, and as the door opened, Trell was hit with a wave of sensations, not just sound or smell, but something more fundamental that his brain struggled to interpret. You may experience discomfort, Watchman warned. Your perception is limited to four-dimensional spacetime. Much of what occurs here exists in additional dimensions. Trell stepped out cautiously. The interior was vast, with curved walls that seemed to extend beyond what should be physically possible given the exterior dimensions. Structures of unknown purpose floated throughout the space, and moving among them were beings. At first glance, they appeared human, but as Trell focused, he realized the truth. These entities merely retained human-like forms as a matter of choice or convenience. Their bodies shifted subtly, portions temporarily phasing into something else, something his mind couldn't quite grasp. A figure approached, more stable in appearance than the others. She resembled the human ambassador from the historical recording, though her eyes held a depth that seemed to look through Trell rather than at him. Ambassador Trell, she greeted him, her voice layered with harmonics that made his antennae vibrate. I am Director Chen. You've shown considerable courage and insight to reach us. You're the same Ambassador Chen who announced humanity's withdrawal, Trell realized. But that was 3 centuries ago. Chen smiled. Time works differently for us now. My consciousness has been continuous since then, though this physical form has been reconstructed many times. Why have you brought me here? Trell asked. What do you want from me? Understanding, Chen replied simply. The Council continues to hide the truth, both about the Void Collective and about humanity's response. This policy of secrecy endangers every sentient species in the galaxy. She gestured, and the space around them transformed. Trell found himself seemingly suspended in open space, watching as a dark, shifting mass spread across the stars, consuming light itself. This is the Void Collective as we first perceived it, Chen explained. A multidimensional entity that exists primarily in what you might call dark energy states. It has consumed thousands of galaxies over billions of years. The vision shifted, showing council chambers from centuries past. Trell recognized former Grand Councilors arguing heatedly. When humanity presented this evidence, the council chose denial and appeasement. Chen continued. They believed interaction with the collective could be avoided, that our galaxy might be spared if we remained quiet and insignificant. And you disagreed, Trell said. We knew better. The collective had already noticed us. Avoidance was impossible. Our only hope was to evolve, to transform ourselves into something the collective might recognize as kindred rather than food. The visuals dissolved, returning them to the sphere. Chen's expression grew solemn. The council feared our transformation. They saw it as an abandonment of our humanity, perhaps even a betrayal of all biological life. They tried to stop us, even sabotage our efforts. That's why we withdrew completely. A deep, resonating alarm suddenly pulsed through the structure. Watchman's form flickered. Council vessels approaching, he announced. They've tracked our quantum signature. Chen nodded calmly. It seems your absence has been noticed. Ambassador, the Council has sent a battle fleet to retrieve you, and likely to destroy this facility. Trell felt panic rising. You need to evacuate. If they're bringing a battle fleet, we've been expecting this confrontation for some time. Chen interrupted gently. In fact, we've prepared for it. Outside, space itself seemed to ripple. Massive shapes emerged from nowhere, hundreds of vessels appearing simultaneously in perfect formation around the structure. Their design was organic and fluid, clearly of human origin, but utterly unlike the rigid military vessels of the Council. The adaptive fleet, Chen explained. Humanity's defensive force. On a view screen that materialized before them, Trell saw the Council fleet drop out of faster-than-light travel. 20 capital ships with escort vessels, a significant portion of the Council's military might. This could start a war, Trell said, horrified. No, Chen replied firmly. This will end one. A Cold War that has been fought in secret for centuries. A communication signal chimed, and the stern face of Grand Councilor Vex appeared on the screen. Illegal human settlement. The Councilor began formally. You have abducted a Council ambassador and violated multiple treaty provisions. Surrender the ambassador and prepare to be boarded. Chen stepped forward. Grand Councilor, this is Director Sarah Chen. Ambassador Trell is here by his own choice. He sought answers the Council has hidden for too long. You have no authority here, human, Vex spat. Your kind chose to abandon civilization. You will comply or face the consequences. Chen's form seemed to grow more solid, more present. The consequences, Counselor, are not what you imagine. Without warning, every human vessel suddenly emitted a pulse of energy, unlike anything Trell had ever seen. It wasn't destructive. It simply passed through the Council ships like light through glass. But in its wake, every system on those ships failed simultaneously. We have neutralized your weapons and propulsion, Chen informed the stunned Counselor. No one has been harmed. You are in no danger unless you force us to take further action. What do you want? Vex demanded, his earlier confidence evaporating. The truth must be told, Chen said simply. The galaxy must prepare. The Void Collective is no longer a distant threat. It will reach our galaxy within 50 years. Gasps and murmurs could be heard from the Council bridge crew. Trell realized this was news even to them. The highest levels of Council security had kept this information from everyone. Impossible, Vex whispered. Our projections gave us centuries at least. Your projections were wrong, Chen cut in. The collective has accelerated its approach. We've been monitoring it while you've been hiding from it. Chen turned to Trell. This is why we brought you here, Ambassador. You will be our witness. The Council can no longer conceal the danger or humanity's transformation. Trell stepped forward. What would you have me do? Return with them, Chen said, surprising him. Tell the council what you've seen. Tell them humanity stands ready not as conquerors or enemies, but as guardians. They won't believe me, Trell said. They'll suppress this information just as they have for centuries. Not this time, Chen said with certainty, because we are coming back. She waved her hand, and the space around the station shimmered. Countless more human vessels began to appear, not hundreds but thousands, each more advanced than anything the Council had ever developed. Humanity's seat in the Council chamber has remained empty as a reminder, Chen told him. Now it is time for us to reclaim it, not as the humans who left, but as what we have become, the protectors this galaxy needs. Trell nodded slowly, understanding at last. That's why Earth's seat terrified them, not because it was empty, but because they knew someday we would return, Chen finished. That day has come. As Trell was escorted back to the shuttle that would return him to the Council fleet, he took one last look at the vast human structure and the armada surrounding it. For 3 centuries, the Council had lived in fear of this moment, hiding the truth about both the cosmic threat and humanity's response. Earth's seat had remained empty by choice. Now, as humanity emerged from its self-imposed exile, transformed but unbroken, that seat would finally be filled, and the galaxy would never be the same again.